I'm gonna have to disagree. Every time I leave the beach, I feel hammered. So I feel great.
Hannah, have you been breaking quarantine?
The beach. Fun or not fun?
Fun.
Not fun.
Fun.
Not fun.
I've never felt calm when I've been on a beach before. I've seen terrible things happen at beaches. The beach, the ocean killed Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic. Also, one time I was walking around in the sand when I was 12 and I saw a kid who worked at a local movie theater getting a hand job. That's not an image that I could get out of my brain. That's just in there forever.
It's very discriminatory to say you hate all beaches. Sure, the Jaws beach is not the best beach because someone died of a shark attack. It's bothering you to see a hand job? It's like, grow up, we're not in 7th grade.
As a fervent member of the hashtag not all beaches, hashtag not all oceans movement, I have to disagree with you here.
Did you go to the beach in the wintertime?
Of course. I have rich parents. I got tan in the middle of winter. I came back to New York looking fresh as hell. I was hit on by like 5 people getting off the airplane.
What do you think 50-year-old you would say about current you laying out in the sun, developing these skin issues?
50-year-old me would be like, you want to be hot in your prime.
Plus, another thing is that I actually like the look of wrinkles. You look sage and wise.
Wrinkles is a sign of wisdom.
There's a lot more stuff to play with. All the folds you can kind of like dig your fingers into.
Some of us like our holes filled.
And stick your parts in their parts.
Are you talking about a vagina, Jordan?
You're saying you're putting your own body inside of the body of another older person's skin folds? Is that what you're saying?
That is what I am saying, and that is correct. Skin folds kind of become multiple vaginas all over the body.
I think what we're learning now is that Jordan has never had sex. Any sexual orientation is absolutely awesome, but I will say that most old white people who spend a lot of time in the sun end up looking like a beach volleyball.
Have you ever seen Castaway?
He doesn't fuck the volleyball in Castaway.
We
The
don't know
deleted
that.
scenes.
Yeah, we didn't see the extended version.
They're an Easter egg. They're hidden, and it's Tom Hanks going at it with Wilson, kind of for like uncut 20 minutes.
Do you think there was maybe sand in those crevices? That's another big point I would like to bring up, and that is that sand gets everywhere.
People buy sand in bottles all the time. Haven't you ever seen, why do you think bathrooms are painted like beaches? It's so that you can calm your body and take a shit easier. It relaxes you, and then you can just shit everywhere.
Sand, surf, skin, it's the most fun you can have in the summer or the winter, really. You know, I don't know why this is a debate in the first place.
You know where else I can do all those activities that you said? Inside of my apartment. I could do every single, I got drinks in here. I got so many drinks in my fridge. I got a drink right over here. There's hand jobs available at least for me to give to myself.
Don't you get bored in your apartment? Like, I gotta be honest, I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't look great.
No, I really like it inside. I like to quarantine in here. I got all the drinks that I need, and I never have to worry about getting sand into any of my crevices that Jordan might want to touch.
Just to clarify, if I were to try to touch any sand in your crevices, it would be a no-go.
I'd have to say it'd be a big no for me. I can't speak for everyone here on the chat.
Okay.
You can speak for me.
understand.
I don't want that either.
Fantastic. And Courtney?
I would have to hear more.
Everything is a little fun with a little bit of danger. Like it's a little fun to know that, oh, I'm gonna get sand in my crevices. I could potentially drown. There's a shark over there, maybe. I could get eaten by it.
There's some risks there, but obviously there's gonna be a high reward because you're putting yourself out there. It's kind of like telling someone you love them. It's like they're probably gonna say no, 4 or 5 times, but at least you did it.
It's actually funny you bring that up. I actually just told my best friend that I'm in love with him. This happened 2 days ago, and I actually haven't stopped crying since.
My grandpa never told me that he loved me once, and that guy was awesome. So, you kind of need to decide which side of history you like to be on. You know who likes inside? Jake Gyllenhaal from the 2001 film Bubble Boy. He stayed inside all the time, and it really helped him to stay alive.
Well, you know who also? Jake Gyllenhaal in Manchester by the Sea. That wasn't Jake Gyllenhaal?
That
Jake?
wasn't.
It was another...
No,
That was not Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, wasn't him. But it was a guy that looked like Jake Gyllenhaal, and he stayed inside, and he burned his house down and killed his children. Yeah, basically it was Jake Gyllenhaal. It was a small, tiny white guy with brown hair. That's Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's actually an excellent point.
Devon, you're missing the point about the movie Bubble Boy. He was stuck in a bubble, and he eventually, his hero's journey was getting out of the bubble.
And then he dies at the end of the movie, right? Jake Gyllenhaal at the end of Bubble Boy.
What movie did you watch?
He has a horrible disease, and then the second he steps outside of the bubble, he dies. That's what happens in Bubble Boy, right? You guys have spent so much time at the beach that you can't remember which Jake Gyllenhaal movie is which.
Absolutely. And going off that point, every time you leave the beach, do you ever feel good? Most of the time you feel a little bit sick and tired, right?
I'm gonna have to disagree. Every time I leave the beach, I feel hammered. So I feel great.
Hannah, have you been breaking quarantine?
No. Not right now. I mean like next
Hannah.
year. I mean like next year. There's so many types of people at the beach. There are so many people. You just have the options of meeting new friends, you know, bonding over music, sharing cups.
If you're talking about listening to music, it's like I can look at you and I can feel out your whole vibe, and I feel like you guys are probably listening to Dave Matthews Band, which is an activity that I absolutely cannot support in any way, shape, or form. I don't even know what their songs are, but I know that any band that just names themselves after the name of the lead guy is something I can't associate myself with, especially not on the beach.
I know reverse racism isn't real, but that does feel like it a little bit.
It's okay
Why
to
do you
like
think
it.
I
I
like
love
Dave
Dave
Matthews?
Matthews.
Because you said that your parents are rich and Dave Matthews feels like a band for the 1%.
I just don't understand what's wrong with Dave Matthews Band. Like, you don't love ants marching? Boom, boom, boom.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Boom, boom, boom.
I know exactly what that is. I know exactly what that is. My dad listens to it.
Morning.
That song that you just sang makes me want to get divorced, and I'm not even married yet.
Right, makes sense.
Any activity that you think Dave Matthews makes you want to do, I would love to do them at my house.
What great activity has ever taken place on a beach? In the history books that you've seen, what positive things happened at a beach? See, I've never seen Martin Luther King on a beach.
That's not true at all. You haven't heard Martin Luther King's I Have a Surfboard speech?
That has never existed before. There's never been a I have a surfboard speech.
I
Jordan, I'm on
have
your
a
team.
surfboard.
I am on your team, but let's not do this. As a white woman, I can't be called a Karen on the internet again.
My children will also own surfboards and be judged by the content of their
I
tricks.
think that this is not the right direction.
I've never heard that speech that Jordan is saying, but I just know that it's the lyrics of a Dave Matthews Band song. They got beaches everywhere, but it's like the Louvre. There's only one place I can see that at, and those are the kinds of things that I'm doing instead of lounging. I'm learning.
What's your favorite part of the Louvre?
I mean, really, it's all my favorite part, right? It's like when you've...
What's your favorite piece of artwork?
When you've
In the
spent as
Louvre.
much time at the Louvre as I have, then every part of it feels good, and every part of it feels nice. So it's like, I can't...
Name one artist. Name one artist.
I mean, all of them are there. You think all the big ones are at the Louvre?
Name a big artist. I would like to know.
One of the, Jacquard. Jacquard is at the Louvre. You guys probably don't know who that is because you haven't been, but
Jacquard is a chocolate company, I believe.
No.
I'm still missing traveling and learning and doing other things. I don't feel satisfied by the beach being an option.
What's an educational vacation that you've been on?
When I went to Trinidad and Tobago, my dad had us go to a house for 8 hours and learn about hummingbirds. So any information that you would like to know about hummingbirds, I
actually would not like to know anything about hummingbirds. And the thought of spending 8 hours with a hummingbird, actually, I would rather go into the ocean and just with ankle weights, personally.
Actually, when my dad said it, my sisters and I threw a fit. After we went, we were so happy. Amazing view. Pictures of hummingbirds everywhere. He even did a Q&A at the end, and we got to ask our own questions, where my dad participated way too much. Now I see a hummingbird, and I know the hummingbird. I know how fast its wings flap. I know that it needs sugar water.
Wings flap?
Extremely fast. Extremely fast. And they need sugar water almost, I think it's every 8 seconds, or they die.
You had a horrible vacation in which you had to learn about hummingbirds for 8 hours, but you ended up not learning anything.
Courtney, how much do hummingbirds weigh? It's between 2 and 20 grams. And you know how I knew that? A quick Google search. Meanwhile, you're spending 8 hours in a fucking hummingbird building and you can't even tell me that with a fact?
Yeah, and notice where you were able to do that Google from, inside where they've got Wi-Fi.
I have 5G. I have 5G. I get connected everywhere.
5G is also what brought us the coronavirus.
At the end, the bubble boy. Jimmy and Chloe are married with all of Jimmy's new friends in attendance.
What you said is that he ended up being married, and I've known enough married people in my life to know that, like, once you get married, in many ways, you die. And yeah, bubble boy dead in my mind.